Well, welcome back to Spiritual Intelligence, another episode by Dr. Rajen Cooppan. So, we were speaking in the last episode about how spiritual intelligence is really an awareness that we are spirit beings. Now, we may know that intellectually, that means through the mind, but we don't experience it experientially. So, what does it feel like to become a spiritual being? A spiritual being has another set of attributes, not physical, but experienced. We experience ourselves as truth, as goodness, as beauty. We experience ourselves as consciousness, as truth, and as bliss. We experience ourselves as love, as joy. And we have the capacity to link into the super soul, God force that's within us. And this produces a different harmony within us. It's almost as though we are responding to a prime conductor in our lives, giving us information, giving us the thrust of what we need to do moment by moment. It's a very different experience to the mind, emotion, body existence that we have. And whilst we drift in and out of this awareness, to establish it as a constant integrated awareness is the challenge of spiritual intelligence. Now, that comes about by engaging the human values that we spoke about earlier in this series. And we'll speak about that a lot more. But let's go to a more refined process, one that allows us instant access to our spiritual nature, and that is meditation. So, what is meditation and what is not meditation? Well, what meditation is not visualization, it's not contemplation, it's not concentration, it's not guided in any way. All those are forms that are regarded as meditation, but they're really not meditation. Meditation is, in fact, a process by which the mind loses its momentum. It gradually loses its momentum. And you experience yourself as the perfect silence. You experience yourself as an unbroken silence. And the moment you have a thought that I should be meditating, you're not meditating. Now, how do we get into the state? Well, first thing is, when should we meditate? Ideally, it would be for 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening before meals. And what posture should we adopt? You can adopt a posture sitting in a couch, not on your bed, not lying down. That tends to release serotonin and induces sleep. You can sit in any posture that you want, provided that your neck is upright and straight. Now, how do you time your meditation? Well, the easiest way today is we all have cell phones. Set it for 20 minutes with a chime or a bell, and it will chime, and then you know your 20 minutes is up. And how do you then engage this process of meditation? Well, by adopting a deliberate period of time, morning and evening. It should be about roughly the same time every day, same times every day. And you sit comfortably, undisturbed, turn off the phone, just your timer to be working, and close your eyes. And you can sit in a posture where you hold your palms in that posture on your lap, and close your eyes and breathe deeply. Just breathe deeply, letting the mental and emotional noise settle down. Do that for about a minute. Let it calm down. Let it calm down. Let it calm down. And then you begin to use a mantra. I'm going to give you the mantra that we use, and it becomes a vehicle by which you are able to conduct this meditation. And the sound is Ayin, Ayin, Ayin. And this sound carries the mental state deeper and deeper and deeper. Now, when you're meditating, it's natural to have thoughts. The nature of the mind is to think. And each thought, we don't have to give it credibility because it usually is a release of deep-seated stresses and energies and tensions in the body surfacing. Now, whenever a thought comes up and you're aware that you're having a thought, then go back to the mantra, Ayin, Ayin, Ayin. And let the mantra then take you deeper and deeper and deeper. Now you come to a point where after a few practice sessions, you'll find that you are engaging this process much more effortlessly. As long as you're doing it consistently twice a day for 20 minutes, 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening, before meals, you'll get the outcome. There cannot not be an outcome with this kind of meditation. So meditation is not concentrating. It's not trying to get rid of thoughts. It's not trying to stabilize your mind. It's an effortless process allowing the mind to come to a standstill. And as you touch that moment when the mind is absolutely not moving, you slip into a silent state, which is the spiritual awareness. It's a beautiful state to be in. It lingers for a few minutes, and then suddenly the thoughts start up again. But each time it's like diving deep, deep, deep into the ocean, and you come up with the wetness of the water. So by going deeper and deeper and deeper, you begin to allow the spiritual qualities to embed in the mind. It embeds in the emotions. It embeds in the physical body. And there have been numerous studies that show that all these bodies benefit from meditation. The mind becomes calmer, less stressed. You find that hypertension starts to come down. You begin to access thoughts and qualities that you never knew you had. And these begin to permeate your mind and your emotions and your body. Now, by deliberately exposing yourself to 20 minutes twice a day with this Ayin mantra, you will begin to settle the mind. So mind then turns out to be the barrier to the experience that we are spiritual beings. Spirit is there always. It is eternal. It is ever present, but your awareness of it can fluctuate depending on what the mind is doing. Now, if the mind is too busy in the world, too frenetic, too consumed with earning and proving yourself and fighting, then it doesn't have the chance. It's vibrating at such a low level that it does not give you the chance to experience this perfect silence. And that is why in all meditative states, silence is the prerequisite. It is only in the depths of silence that the voice of God can be heard. It is only in the depths of silence that the voice of God can be heard. And that voice of God is our conscience. Conscience as opposed to consciousness. So the conscience is the voice that speaks to you. And that is literally God speaking to you. It is the awareness that, no, you are a spiritual being. You are eternal. And so a reminder during the day when you're not meditating could be a little mantra. It's called the Brahmananda mantra. It goes, I am God. I am not different from God. I am the eternal, indivisible, supreme, absolute. Grief and anxiety can never affect me. I am ever content. Fear can never enter me. I'll repeat that. I am God. I am not different from God. I am the eternal, indivisible, supreme, absolute. Grief and anxiety can never affect me. I am ever content. Fear can never enter me. Now, by repeating that mantra as often as you want, you establish the awareness that you are, in fact, God, that you are Atma. Atma is the same as Paramatma. Individual soul and the oversoul are the same. It's like a drop of water making its way to the ocean. When it merges into the ocean, you cannot separate the drop from the water. The drop becomes the water. And that's the essence of meditation. We lose ourselves into the silence, but you maintain a dignity, an awareness that you are, in fact, spiritual beings. Now, with this process of deepening this meditation, you'll find that you begin to experience other qualities. You begin to find coincidences happening. You begin to find that your earning becomes easier. You begin to find that you are not so fussed up, not so agitated, not so opinionated about things. In fact, you don't have an opinion, because having an opinion is a mind quality. Having a anger and all those qualities associated with the mind are mental attributes. They're not spirit. Spirit has no attributes. It has no conditioning. It is pure consciousness. Now, the ability to go back to that pure consciousness is called Chitta Suddhi Yoga. Chitta in Sanskrit means consciousness. Suddhi means to purify, and yoga means to unite. So it is uniting the awareness, our consciousness, by purifying it. Purifying it of what? Of the mental aberrations that may be populating our mind, the emotional aberrations that may be populating the mind, and the physical aberrations that may be populating our mind. And these attributes, they can confound the experience of spirit. And the ego, we'll speak a lot more about ego, is a subtle aspect of this inner instrument that enshrouds the element of spirit. It is so subtle, it is so powerful that it envelops the light of the spirit. It's almost like it's a dark veil made up of the warp and the woof of the concepts of I and mine. So whenever you use the terms I and mine, and you begin to engage life from that level, you are out of attunement vibrationally with your spirit. The moment you use the words I and me and mine, you are out of alignment with your spirit. And so having no opinion, having no version of the world, brings us to the concept of Advaita, means the non-dual experience of being spiritual beings. Now, all spiritual masters, be it Jesus, be it Buddha, be it Sai Baba, be it Krishna, have established themselves in this unbreakable, constant, integrated awareness that they are spiritual beings. And they descend into the world, and they interact with us. And then they flicker back into spiritual awareness again. So this is a very powerful state to be in. And it's something that every one of us can attain through practice. Now, you may go through a number of episodes of meditation feeling agitated and feeling as though like you confused about this. Don't do that. Just let it pass, let it pass, let it pass. As these agitations begin to subside, they are releases. You can almost call them, they are locked tremors and focuses in your muscle groups, in your fascia, in your mind that are being released. They may have some content, but that content is not real. Easiest way to deal with that is when you're feeling one of those agitations, just bring the mind like a searchlight onto that sensation and just hold it there. Let that light begin to dissolve. And you'll literally feel the emanation of the vibration dissolving, that your light is beginning to become brighter. And as this contamination dissipates from your body, you go back into the silence. And so this is a number of processes that allow this deepening of the experience of silence. So it turns out that spirit is the basis on which we live our life. Our thoughts emanate from spirit, our feelings emanate from spirit, and our body is structured in spirit. And as we begin to deepen our experience of the spiritual emergence with our minds, with our body, with our emotions begins to happen. And it turns out that this power of the spirit is so great that it can heal anything. It's a powerful expression. It's almost like a light shining through your body, a white light shining through your body, deeply penetrating your body, deeply healing everything in your body. And it begins to establish itself. But it's not establishing itself. It's always been there. What's happening is you're becoming aware of it. That's very different from something entering you, whereas this meditation allows it to become, you become aware of its presence within you. So this meditation, the mantra meditation, is a powerful way to engage your spiritual awareness. And on that, in fact, you may not need to be doing anything else. That may be enough to trigger the awareness that I am spirit, I am God, I am not different from God. And by repeating this again and again, you establish the awareness that you are, in fact, a God-like being. And as the pattern begins to establish itself, you begin to find that you sleep more easily. You begin to experience your relationships very differently. There is no fussing and fighting and arguing. You begin to experience other beings as being spirit beings. That's another chapter that we will deal with as we engage this process of spiritual intelligence. Well, that's all for now, folks. I hope you enjoyed that experience of the meditation. We'll talk about it a bit more as we progress.